It has been brought to my attention since I asked you in my community tab what questions you have for me. A lot of you guys are struggling with issues of comparison and feeling like you're not good enough or that you're behind in life. And I can't go to bed knowing that. It hurts me, it pains me because it's simply not true. And I just want to explain to you or give you a few different perspectives, examples, and my personal experiences to help you hopefully release that mindset or block that you're having about yourself, because I too went through probably my worst ever comparison rut last May when I was in Paris. Yes, I didn't talk about it then, but I do want to talk about it now. Before we begin, I do want to say Happy Chinese New Year, Happy Lunar New Year. I ink brushed and designed a bunch of printable posters as well as desktop backgrounds, phone backgrounds, tablet backgrounds for Year of the Rabbit. They're different every month, and they also come with an audio affirmation message to talk a bit more about the meaning behind each illustration, what it's meant to remind you and encourage you of, and a little personal story of why I wanted to make that the affirmation of the month. So if you are interested in that, go check it out. And let's get on with this video. First and foremost, I know this is a basic concept, but I feel like I need to reiterate it into your brain. We're all such unique individuals. It is impossible to compare ourselves with each other because our lives are not in this linear trajectory. We're all on our own little roller coaster basically, and it doesn't make sense to compare where that person's biggest loop, biggest dip is in their life. Some people are going to have it in the beginning of their life, some people in the middle ages, some people in their later ages of life. One of you guys specifically mentioned feeling bad about, starting dating later in life. I started dating very young in life. Do I regret it? No. I mean, there's no right or wrong. I clocked in my hours for being in a relationship, learning about what it's like to kind of coexist with another person, to share intimately. I learned a lot about myself, a lot about what I look for in a partner, and also what I need to work on. So now at the age of 25, I'm starting to clock in my single hours because I realized that a lot of my comfort, my sense of being loved, and confidence was drawn a lot from this other person in my life, and any source of happiness that doesn't come from yourself is not a reliable source of happiness. I am now going through my single years, so I think everyone's timing is gonna look different, and we're going through it all at different paces, so don't compare yourself. Comparison it's a train. It's a train that has no end, no final destination. You think it's gonna take you someplace better, be faster, be better looking, whatever you're comparing yourself in, but once you step on that train, hey, this is the stop for confidence in your body image. Please exit out the right doors. It's not gonna say that because this train never ever stops. It just keeps driving around. No matter how far you go to reach this goal of what you think is success or not being behind in life, like being ahead in life, you can always be more ahead. No matter how much money you have, no matter what you look like, riding the comparison train is just equally unsatisfying for everyone. It's just an emptyless pit. Like, do you want to dive into a pit where you're constantly falling and you never hit the ground? I personally don't. It brings me a lot of stress. It doesn't allow me to appreciate all of the things that I've achieved in my life. Shift your focus to that. Like literally just writing down 3 things you're grateful for every morning. I know it's cheesy and people have said that probably a lot, but I've recently started doing that and it's actually really helped me. So to get off this train, you're gonna have to like tuck and tumble. You're gonna have to just jump. Once you get off, you are gonna be feeling so much better in your life because you don't have some false illusion that you're chasing. As someone who's grown up being taught that my accomplishments, my successes, like my work or academic accomplishments are what make me good and worthy and celebrated and validated, that's the programming that fed into my brain. I really hit that rock bottom last year when I was in Paris in May. I was like, hey, I'm gonna stay here for a month and just like work on myself. I thought it was gonna be romantic, okay? I did really have to work on myself. It was so much more painful than I had expected, but That's just the nature of what growth is. There's growing pains, okay? And this was the most painful I've ever felt in terms of self-comparison. I think I've always had this inside me, comparing myself with others, because, you know, it wasn't ever good enough for me to have like a good grade. I had to kind of see like where I ranked in this class. Am I at the top of this class? Like, you know, it's like it's not enough to just be good. I have to be the best to feel approval, to feel inherently worthy. That really manifested itself when I was in Paris. There were so many other vloggers, other YouTubers who happened to have gone at the same time as me. And some of them are very good friends of mine, people that I love, people that I watch. But nonetheless, I spiraled into this whirlpool of comparison. We all kind of arrived on the same days. I've been, you know, taking things really slow with my editing the past year because I've decided, you know, I want to just learn to be more relaxed with my work life. Like, yes, I can still put effort in, work hard, but not tie my worth so much in posting a video every week in this level of productivity or numbers game or that type of thing. And it's kind of funny now that I'm saying this. It felt like the universe was like, oh yeah, you think you don't compare yourself anymore? You think you really got it set? You think you're really chill? Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna put you in this situation. I'm gonna put you right here amongst all these other beautiful, amazing YouTubers that you like, and see if you compare yourself. You see if you compare yourself right there. And oh my god, boy, did I compare myself. You know, I was technically like the first one to arrive, and they came day after, a few days after, and bam, publishing. I came to Paris videos like so fast. I felt like I was falling behind. Like I felt like I was in school and I was not handing in my assignment. I would feel so terrible about myself. I was basically chaining myself to my desk while being in like Paris. So I felt really guilty about that. I was like, I should be outside. I should be enjoying the city. I would watch their stories and they'd be, you know, out with friends, doing this, seeing that. I just felt like, oh my god, they're doing so much more than me. They're having more fun than me. They're doing more work than me. They're editing faster than me. And I just started to feel so insecure about myself. I felt very insecure about my looks. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe it's because they're prettier than me, they're dressed better than me. Like these, I mean, like this is when you know I'm like really going down, because I think looks is probably one of the last things I compare myself. It's definitely like probably productivity on the top, just because that's what was more validated as a child. We love the childhood trauma, but you know how it is. We all got it, we all worked through it. So, you know, good job for all of us. But oh my goodness, I was just feeling so miserable about myself. It was messing with my sleep. I was forcing myself to stay up late to work, but I also couldn't work because I wasn't even giving myself time to rest. At one point, my mom finally called me because I wasn't replying to anyone, and she was like, are you okay? And I just burst out in tears. I was crying, and that's actually what sparked me to do a Globe Diaries video while I was in Paris. I started running, okay, like, but it did really help getting my body moving again. And I think what helped me the most was the full moon. When the moon grows, it's getting bigger, it's a good time to like put things out into the world that you want. And then once it is a full moon, it's a good time to write down the things that you want to let go of as the moon is like waning, getting smaller. I just started following these full moon journaling prompts, writing down what are negative things that I've been saying to myself the past weeks. I'm not working hard enough as other people. I'm not editing fast enough. My videos aren't good enough. I'm not smart enough. I'm not creative enough. I'm not pretty enough. I'm in like a city that so many people want to spend time in, yet I'm not living this like romantic life that I'm sure the people would be doing when they're in Paris. Like all these layers, expectations and comparisons that I was just putting on myself. And the more I wrote, the core essence became so clear, and I just wrote, oh my god, like I am not enough. I don't feel like I'm enough. Man, when I think about it, I'm just like, I want to cry because I feel so sad. I would never let a friend say such things to themselves, but it's so easy for us to say these things to ourselves. And writing down all these negative things I have to say about myself onto a piece of paper felt so confronting, because usually they're little things that pop into your head and they kind of whisper at you like a little devil on your shoulder, and you're like, you just bat it away. And instead of, repressing, because I know I'm like, oh, it's bad to have those thoughts, I shouldn't think about myself like that, just writing it all down on paper and just staring at it and being like, oh my god, like this is how I talk to myself, this is how I think about myself, this is like the subconscious programming that goes behind the way I function. That's not very kind, this is not very nice, I don't want to speak to myself like this, And a part of that exercise was to burn the paper. So held it out that apartment window, and I just burned this little piece of paper and started writing down all of the feelings I wanted to fill myself with. I wanted to tell myself I'm so worthy just being me, just being alive, without any accomplishments of whatever that may be for you. Any of these little accolades we may hang on to feel like we're worthy or special. Tell yourself, without all of that, I am equally as amazing, as worthy, being appreciated and being loved. No matter the pace I'm moving through this world, this life with, I am full just as I am. Yesterday, when I was driving to the library to start my Monday work week, I've been trying to get more organized again and get back into this like healthily productive flow. That morning, I'd actually done a lot, but in my mind, I've somehow just come to forget it, totally disregarded it, because they weren't like work wins. They were like self-care wins. And I was just feeling this pit of anxiety inside of me because I was like, oh my god, I need to plan out all these things I need to do in the next coming week. What if I don't succeed? What if it doesn't go right? And you know what I decided to try? I decided to try just talking to myself. Okay, what did I do this morning? Hey, no, Leah, you did a lot this morning. For the first time in a very long time, you woke up and did a 1 hour Vipassana meditation, which is a practice that you've fallen off with. And that's a huge win this morning. But I kind of did it and I just disregarded it. And I was like, okay, I did it. Okay, thank God. Haven't done it for such a long time. I finally did it. And then I realized, okay, you ate breakfast. Nice. Then you sat down at your bed and you like journaled for a couple minutes. You wrote down 3 things you were grateful for. You wrote an affirmation. And then you read. You read the book. Where's this book? I love this book. You read like a page or 2 of this book, highlighted things that made you feel good, and you literally stopped by the lake to take a walk before you headed to the library. That is why you're showing up to the library at 1 p.m., which feels late. What is late? Like, yeah, I don't have a normal 9 to 5 work schedule, but that also means sometimes you're going to be working way later. Your hours are kind of all over the place. Don't compare yourself to other people, what time they start working. Like, other people's lives, their business. Don't worry about it. I just sit in the car and I was like, yeah, you put yourself first today. Like, this is something that you are trying to work on, and you did it. As I was saying this out loud to myself, I was like, oh shit, like I actually did start to feel better. I felt my anxiety easing. I was just hyping myself up. I was like, you know what, you got this. Like, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna have your meeting, you're gonna plot out your week in a way that's really manageable and it's not gonna overwhelm you, and that's amazing. Like, I'm so proud of you for putting your own mental health first, prioritizing rest and rejuvenation. And I was like, okay, amazing. And I think that worked really well for me because my love language is definitely words of affirmation. When people share with me things that they appreciate about me and like expand on them and like give an example or something like that, oh my god, like I die for that. So it's like, why don't I do that for myself? Interruption of a really quick tip that's helped me so much. Find a childhood photo of yourself that just feels like it really resonates with your energy. Pipe cleaners stuck into my nostrils. There were cuter photos of like posing with flowers and like looking very pretty. But this is authentic. I'm like, this is very me. and just putting this beside my desk because I feel like I'm most hard on myself when it comes to work. It's a really great reminder to just be kind to yourself, be kind to your inner child, because you're not gonna be mean to this little cutie child. How can you be mean to a child, okay? Stepping out of your trauma, even if you overcome it, doing the journaling, doing the work, there are still going to be times where, you know, the universe, whatever you believe in, is going to test you. It's going to be like, oh yeah, you think you're okay, well, here's a little something something, and you're going to be lured in again. It's like a man in a white van offering you candy. He's gonna be like, hey, come with me, I'll give you candy, and you're like, oh my god. You used to think, yeah, I want that candy. And then you realize that candy, that's some fake candy. So whenever you see the comparison man van coming around town, you keep walking on the sidewalk. You just say, no sir, no thank you, I'm not interested in this candy, I'm gonna keep going. Your brain will come back. It will come back and it will pester you again. I think in less frequent intervals, but it still comes back, and you're just gonna say no to that van. You're gonna say no to that train. You're gonna say, no, I'm not riding this, I'm not getting in that van. I don't really want to compare myself. It's just not fulfilling, doesn't feel good. I know I'm wonderful the way I am, and that's enough. I'm moving through life at my own pace. Like, life is finite. Like, why are we running towards our deaths? I want to be strolling there. I want to be like stopping, smelling the roses, looking at the flowers. That's why I've been doing a walk every day, at least one. Going on walks is just as important as me getting my work done. Is like a creative exercise. Whether it's finding ways that comfort, self-soothe, that empower you, it's creative. You gotta like try it out. You can't just listen to like things I say in this video. Some things are gonna work for you, some things are not. You're gonna have to like derive little new strategies, healthy strategies for yourself. But one thing that I think when I see someone really thriving and they have, you know, maybe something that I want to achieve or aspire to, you can feel like, oh my god, I feel bad because I'm not there yet, you know, I don't have what they have. But think of them as your expanders. Like, by seeing this person achieve this, I'm like, whoa, that makes it even more tangible in my reality because I'm seeing someone doing this. It's like seeing more representation of yourself in media. Like, it's awesome. You're seeing your goals represented in this world. It's like another proof that what you want is possible. How great is that? Feel good in knowing that the sector that you're working in is thriving. There's space for everyone to thrive. I'm sure you watch, not just me, I'm sure you watch other YouTubers that make you feel good, that make you feel comfy. Like, if I thought, oh my god, you know, there's other YouTubers that make good videos, so like, why am I making good videos? My videos aren't good enough. And I just stopped making videos. Like, that'd be sad, right? Like, I think no matter what you're doing, even if you're doing something that's similar to other people, like, you have something unique to offer because of you, because of your unique life experience, because your life doesn't look like other people's. So instead of spending your energy running forward and trying to make your life, make you fit the shape of this other person that you see around you, or this idea that you built of what this like successful or good person looks like, just focus on going at your own pace, doing your own little dance, the dance of life, and you're gonna be great. You are awesome. You're really worthy and wonderful and amazing just as you are. Doesn't matter when you get to something, what order you do it in, as long as you're waking up every day, practicing being kind and gentle with yourself, I think you're on the right path. And I'm walking on that path right beside you. And it's kind of beautiful. I'm so grateful that you shared your time with me to watch this video. I know there were a lot of other questions that were asked. Instead of focusing on giving really fast answers for a bunch of questions, I think it's kind of nice to take things one at a time and have a little conversation about it. Let me know what you think, what you prefer. Happy Year of the Rabbit. Go check out Friendly Bureau if you want a stick background wallpaper calendar in your room or on your device. I guess what I want to say is just, you don't need to compare yourself anymore.